Let's check out the new changes to Demon and to World Zero. Hello, Levians, this is Greta here. Hopefully you're having a great day. I'm having a great day. We are back today in the lovely world of the Zero because we're going to be going over the big changes they have made to Demon. There's been a couple of other things too, like Mage of Light as well. We'll kind of go over those at the end, but the big focus I want to be on is Demon because it has gotten a massive revamp. So we have gotten rid of the ability to switch in between multi and singular, and it is now called Dark Binding. And basically you sacrifice a portion of your health for a substantial damage boost. On average, this damage boost I'm seeing is about 15 to 20%-ish. It's kind of differentiating depending on how much, but it is affecting crits, so that's kind of the nice part. Now, let's go ahead and go over the abilities, just kind of what they do. The base attack is a short-range melee. Well, I would say long-range melee, but there you go. That's kind of the gist of that one. Dark Binding, that's how much health it takes. It does last for 8 seconds, so then you can proceed to attack it with your melee or do any of your other abilities. Now, we do have Scythe Throw, so this is cool because it actually stays on your opponent and does damage to them, which I kind of like. And then we have our lovely Life Drain, which affects all enemies, and then it starts sapping health from one of the mobs, which is actually kind of cool, especially if you start pairing it with Dark Binding. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Once this event gets out of my face, Dark Binding, do this, we do extra damage, and then we can throw this out while the Dark Binding's going on. So, as you can see, this can start getting some pretty good metas going on. Now, we do have some new visual effects changes, and I do want to bring those to y'all attention, and that is the Dark Prince. So there we go. Yeah, everyone's checking this out right now. So there's the Dark Prince. Currently, it is not being affected by Dark Binding. I have no idea why. I'm hoping that'll get patched. That may be intentional, may not. We'll find out. Editing me will let you know. So yeah, this as you can see, has overall kind of changed it. I actually started doing some dungeons with this because I wanted to get a weapon. I wanted to see how it played. I ran with Black Butterfly because mine had a significant amount of recharge, especially for that ultimate. And it actually was super helpful because I was able to lock down mobs. Now, I did a run with a regular dungeon and I did a run with a hard dungeon. Overall, it played very, very well. There wasn't anything too particular. I kind of was still getting used to the controls, but corralling the mobs was exceptionally easy. And basically I used the Black Butterfly, stuck them in one spot, and then I started spamming Lifesteal, Dark Binding, and Scythe Throw. And then if my ultimate was up, I'd drop that, and it basically just made a big pile of dead mobs. I will have to admit, it was a little bit slow on the killing. This is not something that is like instantly damage buff. However, I wasn't even using a legendary. I was using an epic. So, I mean, for the amount of damage I was doing for the weapon I had, it was actually quite enjoyable. I feel like this is definitely a big buff for the class overall. This is definitely something that was needed. I kind of wish that it was needed and done like 8 months ago, to be frank. But overall, I had no real issue with it. Was not in like particularly like upset. It played great, honestly. It would take me some time to get used to the controls. One thing I didn't know is that Demon now has its own sprint ability, which is this little cyclone thing, which actually looks super, super cool. Now, one thing I will note, versus elites and versus like single target damage, it's a little bit lackluster unless you're using the Scythe Throw ability. The Scythe Throw ability is super nice because it locks onto a target and you can kind of wander away. I'll do this again real quick for this target dummy and then I will wander away. You can move away, you can go get on a mount, do whatever. I really like that. That's a much needed change for this class. Overall, the movement speed on ground, I'm gonna have to admit, I feel slow. I don't know why. It just feels really slow compared to the other classes. Of course, you can always get on mount, but it could also be because my feet aren't touching the ground. It feels slow. That's just my personal opinion. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. The only thing I really had particular issues with was bosses. The single target thing on this is horrible. However, the AoE potential on this is monstrous. I had a couple times my health went low, but I'm also horrible at dodging and doing moves. So again, a much more skilled player that's a little more versatile, I wouldn't think that'd be a problem. If I had a higher damage dealing weapon, I don't feel like it would be a problem either. Do I think this could possibly be a new meta? No. Do I think the class is now playable? Yes. If this is a class you would like to indulge in and go and play and grind on up, you're probably more than welcome to. I think it'll do just fine grinding up zero gear. Will it be fast? Probably not, no. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Y'all let me know what you have experienced with it. I just kind of wanted to give an overview of what it did, things like that. And I also kind of want to go over Mage of Light because they have also kind of given that class a little bit of a buff. Basically, everything kind of got rebuffed to do more damage, so to speak. I have not played Mage of Light in a while to actually know what the DPS is, but they made quite a few changes on it. The light orb is reduced, infused light no longer locks your movement, and it got more DPS. So if you don't understand what that means, let me switch over to that class real quick. So when you used to infuse, you would actually stop entirely. Now you just kind of do a little skid and you can keep on moving. So this is actually really good for mobility sakes. What's the DPS like on this? I mean, it's not great by any means, but it looks a little bit better. I don't feel like this would be too beneficial, but I mean, that's better than nothing. The other thing I kind of wanted to talk about was kind of one of the big things they just introduced, and that's over here in the cash shop. If you go over the tabs and you get rid of the world event popping up randomly, and you go over, they now have a weapon skin store. Yeah, we now have alien bow. This looks familiar. We have a godly axe that looks a little bit like some Kratos stuff going on in there. A war spear. Captain America's shield. Facing the wrong way. I like the giant pause sign on it. That kind of cracks me up. We have a soul scythe. That is slightly disturbing. We have the strife greatsword. We have the Titan longsword, so of course attack on Titans, and we have Sailor Moon's staff. I really like that a lot. I was saying the past stuff looked like Sailor Moon. Nope. Now we have Sailor Moon. Now we have Sailor Moon. I was kind of waiting for this to happen. They'd kind of been talking about it, so also I hadn't realized how much the cash shop had changed. It definitely is a lot of changes. So they've had a bunch of other improvements and stuff, so I'm not going to go over all those because that would take forever. But I mean, overall the focus of this update was Demon, and I do feel overall that it's a good update for it. I do feel overall that I got a lot out of it. I would have to say, if you're going to be using this class, I would keep on with like maybe some attack up. I would get some crit. I would maybe get a little bit of life drain if you're feeling a little skittish. Definitely need some Bob. You need Bob for this, like no joke, because the one-on-one damage is horrible. So, I mean, you can always go with Mob with it, but yeah, this combo right here was possibly my favorite, doing that, and then we go into the big kaboom. So, lots of damage, lots of dead things. And of course, I wasn't even attacking during that cycle. So, but plebs, let me know y'all thoughts and opinions down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. I may come back and play it a little bit. I kind of liking the new demon look. It plays really well. It feels a little slow though. That's kind of my biggest thing, is it feels a little bit it feels like it needs a little more movement speed and not just that. So I don't know. Anyways, plebs, thank y'all for being here. Hopefully y'all having a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.